Hey, 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 happy Thursday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the grand poobah. Tonight is Thursday, May 28th, 2020. This is episode 493 of The Daily Dope. So if this is your first time tuning in, let me point out this is just very, very casual, just mainly talking tabletop gaming. Sometimes we talk a little PC games, sometimes a little pop culture. In fact, tonight I have a pretty big PC game news piece, but for the most part, it is tabletop gaming around these here parts. I also want to point out that if you like the video, by all means, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you do subscribe, ring that notification bell, because it will tell you not only when I stream live with the Daily Dope Monday through Thursday nights, it'll also tell you about my standalone videos I upload, which I've got some fresh goodies. It's something that showed up today that I actually already did my unboxing video for, and it'll be up tonight. So there is that. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Should also point out, because this is a live stream, that also means there is chat available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, comment, by all means, chime in. I will respond. So far tonight, we've got the Madman, Kabuki Kid, William McGinnis, and Dan from No Enemies here in chat, and Beat Cafe just popped in as well. And we got Mel Winius jumping in. So we've got a lot of people in chat to start off our Thursday night, or as I like to point out, my Friday night, because I don't do shows on Fridays. Anyway, so very cool, very cool. So we got a few people in chat already. Got a good amount of news today. I have some info about some videos that I've also shot, and you should be able to see those in the next few days. In fact, you'll have one tonight. If you want to check it out tonight, I'll tell you what it's going to be. I'll tell you in a little bit. I'll tell you after I finish up the news. Then that way you know what is on the agenda, huh? You decide, hey, I'll watch that, or no, I won't. But anyway, and I got some stuff that's in transit to me as well that I'll mention. But first, let's jump on into the news, because I've got a good deal of news tonight. Got some pretty cool items as well. So first off, Czech Games Edition is readying the release of a new solitaire science fiction game, and I've got the dope on Under Falling Skies. Aliens have arrived to conquer Earth. Enemy ships fill the skies. Humanity retreats to underground bunkers located below cities across the globe. Stand against the common threat. Fight the invaders city by city. Build a team from around the globe to save your planet and defeat the aliens. What do you mean your planet? Isn't it our planet? Yeah, what's going on? Uh-oh, whoa, look out. Dan from No Enemies here is like, hey, no Paisan imitations. I've been doing that voice since before you were born, Dan, because I know you're a youngin'. You're only, in your late teens. So I've been using that voice for a long time. Anyway, back to the news. As the mothership descends to complete her conquest of Earth, enemy ships fill the skies. In your underground research bunker, you are Earth's last hope. Under Falling Skies is a solo game with a multi-mission campaign. In each mission, you take charge of defending a besieged city. Your actions are powered by an innovative dice placement mechanic. When you choose an action, you're also choosing which enemy ships will descend. Bigger numbers give better effects, but they also cause ships to descend faster. Expend your underground base to gain access to more powerful actions, allowing you to shoot down enemy ships or deploy robots to increase your workforce. But don't forget to work on your research and watch your energy supply. Almost said enemy supply. I started to say enemy supply. The mothership draws closer every round, ratcheting up the tension. Can you complete your mission before your base is destroyed? Under Falling Skies is a solitaire title. It's for ages 12 and up. Plays are around 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 20 to 40 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $29.95 when it arrives in Q3 of this year. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. I am sharing some print and play materials here from the designer because all Czech Games Edition had released was the game box. Although, interestingly enough, there had been, I want to say it was about, I think it was 3 weeks ago, thereabout, wasn't that long ago. Tony from Czech Games Edition, who used to be with Arcane Wonders, had touched base with me, and he was like, "Hey, you should check out this print and play that we've got. You know, we're thinking of producing it." Well, as you know, I really don't do print and play simply because I don't want to spend that kind of money on ink. But I guess this was popular enough to lead to them deciding to go with it. Does look like it could be fun. Solitaire game. It's got dice placement. You're fighting aliens. Okay, who knows? Maybe Noah Wiley shows up to play a game with you, side by side under Falling Skies. I don't know. Find out. So William McGinnis says, I like chicken paisan. So, and Dan says he thinks he's older than me, so I need to respect my elders. All right, sir. John Vogel's joining us in chat, too. Got a great chat going. We got quite a few people hanging out. So I guess that means there'll be quite a few thumbs up on the video tonight. I'm just kidding. Although I find it kind of funny how I'll look to see how many people watch live on a video, and we might have like 8 people at one time. And actually, we've had more than that. We've had 30. But as an example, I'll use the number 8. So maybe you'll have 8 people watch the whole show. And out of those 8, there's only like 4 thumbs up. It's like, So somebody's hanging out watching all the video and not even giving a thumbs up, huh? I don't care. Doesn't matter. Viper Dave is in chat. Cool deal. Hiya, Viper Dave. Viper Dave is early. Viper Dave usually hangs out right before I end the show. So only missed one news piece. Moving right along. My next news piece. There is more gaming goodness on the horizon from GMT Games. I've got the dope on the new design from Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein. It is Versailles 1919. On November 11th, 1918, an armistice halted the killing field that was the war to end all wars. To make peace, Woodrow Wilson, David Lloyd George, and Vittorio Orlando were hosted by President George Clemenceau in Paris and sat down to write what would become the Versailles Treaty. I always thought they called it the Treaty of Versailles, but maybe I'm wrong. The treaty was signed on June 28th, 1919, after 6 months of acrimonious debate and bargaining between the great powers. Versailles 1919, created by designers Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein, allows you to experience this piece of history as one of the 4 leaders of a national agenda that must be satisfied. As one of the big 4, you sit in a conference room, gaining influence on the issues present in the room. Hovering in the waiting room sit other issues and personages who are waiting their turn to make their case to meet regional aspirations, such as self-determination. Will you support Ho Chi Minh's attempt to free Vietnam from French colonialism? Help Prince Faisal establish a new nation in Mesopotamia? Or, James Weitzman, create a Zionist state? Work with T.E. Lawrence to reduce unrest in the Middle East? Or with Antarctic in Anatolia? As France, you are concerned with the containing, as France, you are concerned with containing future German aggression while aligning with the British on reparations to pay for the destruction of the war. The British, however, would like to see Germany restored as a trading partner while preserving their empire against a global aspiration for self-determination. Italy wants territorial concessions from the former Austro-Hungarian Empire. Lurking in the background is the threat of Bolshevism. Towering up it all is President Woodrow Wilson with his 14 points that set global expectations soaring, ultimately ending in disappointment when the U.S. does not join the League of Nations. Versailles 1919 introduces a new card bidding mechanic where you use your influence to settle issues aligned with your agenda while keeping domestic constituents in support of your actions. You need to balance the need to demobilize your military forces while simultaneously keeping regional unrest under control. All of these decisions are set against the backdrop of regional crises and uprisings. The player who writes more of the treaty prevails in this contest of wills and national agendas. Can you save the world from the rise of nationalism? Can you make a better world while satisfying your domestic electorate? Play Versailles 1919 and relive the flawed peace that was the Treaty of Versailles. Versailles 1919 is for 1 to 4 players, interestingly enough. Ages 13 and up, plays in 1 to 2 hours, and can be pre-ordered right now at the P500 price of $59. It will have an expected MSRP of $89. This is on the horizon. I would take a guess that that P500 price is going to disappear soon. Don't know. So, Ardwolf's Lair has popped into chat. Good to see you, Ardwolf. Haven't seen you in a bit. So, let's see what we got here. So, Dan from No Enemies is like, I've heard of Mark Herman before. What else has he done? Fort Sumter. That's the only thing I know that Mark has done. Yes, I am one of these people. I'm one of the few reviewers who was not just completely stunned by Fort Sumter. I don't know what to tell you. I love Mark Herman stuff. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was fantastic. Don't know what to tell you. But the thing that I find interesting with this is it's Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein. That's very unique. So obviously enough, we are going to see some kind of Euro-ish mechanics in the game because Engelstein tends to design Euro-ish games. So we'll see. I'm kind of curious. I'm very curious how this will turn out. Does sound very, very interesting. And some of the folks in chat are also saying the same thing. Like the Madman says, yeah, thinking about checking this out. William McGinnis points out they love Churchill and Pericles. Excellent. This is different though. I can tell you that for certain that it's certainly going to be different than Pericles. Churchill, I thought Churchill's pretty interesting with the 3 competing powers, which I think this is probably a little inspired by, but by looking at the board layout, it's not going to play out like Churchill, but yeah, I think this is pretty cool. So Dan says, I find as Mark is getting more experience, he's getting more people friendly. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, Mark Herman's been designing for a long time. Just like if I remember right, I could have swore GMT has Pacific War up on a P500. Almost positive. I'm sure Dan will confirm that if that is the case. Could have swore there is, which is kind of funny because you got Pacific War, you got Empire of the Sun, I could have swore, I know Empire of the Sun is Mark Herman. Could have swore so is Pacific War. I'm not positive. So a lot of people are saying they've already pre-ordered for Sign 1919. Nice. Very cool. William McGinnis says, Mark's still young. He'll develop. Yeah, just like that young whippersnapper, Frank Chadwick. I hear good things about that kid. Moving right along. There is a new edition of Kemet up for crowdfunding on Kickstarter. Thanks to a great day for pointing this out yesterday. I was not aware of this Kickstarter. I am now. It is up on Kickstarter. It is up there for Metago Editions. And I've got the dope on Kemet, Blood, and Sand. As all of a sudden that pops up with, hey, don't forget, thumbs up. Duh. So. Rediscover Kemet's epic universe with Kemet, Blood, and Sand, the newest edition of the multi-award-winning game, Kemet. Kemet, Blood, and Sand will immerse you in an unrivaled gaming experience even better than the original. Kemet is back with streamlined, it's misspelled there, streamlined and upgraded gameplay based on hundreds of hours of testing, solid development from our expert team, and your valuable feedback. Since it was released in 2012, Kemet has been a favorite with the board game community. While working on version 1.5 with the community, we were excited to see the incredible interest in this amazing game. It was time for Kemet, Blood, and Sand. In Kemet, Blood, and Sand, you play one of the Egyptian gods, aiming to stamp your dominance on the parched land. Build pyramids, combine godly powers to create powerful asymmetric combinations, and lead your followers in glorious battles. But be careful, only deep strategic planning and swift tactics will lead you toward victory. There is a Kickstarter video. It's a little more than 2 minutes long, almost 2.5 minutes. But the images really aren't showing a ton. So let's jump on in, take a peek at Kemet, Blood, and Sand on Kickstarter.
Witness the rebirth of a classic from Matago's epic series. Master godlike powers and the monsters of ancient Egypt in Kemet, Blood, and Sand. An endless ocean of sand crossed only by the rushing waters of the Nile. Ancient Egypt is a dangerous place ruled by mighty gods. Vast though this domain may be, the time for sharing power is over. The time for blood and the eternal glory of battle has come. Become an Egyptian god. Throw open the gates of your city as your troops march forth, singing the song of war. And claim your rightful place as master of the black lands of Kemet. Horus and Wadjet have donned their gleaming arms, ready for war. Bastet and Anubis have summoned their faithful, swelling the ranks of their armies. Sobek's forge burns day and night, crafting weapons for those eager to die in his name. In Kemet, Blood, and Sand, you must wisely construct your pyramids and select the right powers to ensure your dominance. Yet your godly power alone will not suffice. Only through deep strategic planning and swift tactical moves can you clear all rivals from your path to absolute victory. Use powers and mythical creatures to create powerful asymmetric combinations as you lead your followers in glorious battles. Divine interventions can be used to thwart the plans of your enemies. Use them to recruit troops, make surprise moves, and take control of the temples needed to become the most powerful god in all of Egypt. In Kemet, Blood, and Sand, faith, magic, and war are one and the same. Only one god will dominate. Are you ready for the challenge of eternity?
Kemet Blood and Sand is for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in around 90 minutes. This project is over 500% funded, is actually nearing $500,000 in Kickstarter backing, and you can reserve a copy of the core game for a $76 pledge through June 16th. Expected delivery is August of next year. I'll be the first to point out, I don't know nothing about Kemet outside of what we've just shared. And I have to laugh because one of the first little items that I ran across when I was kind of putting together a little bit of the news about the game, I ran across something that it was talking about the Kickstarter, and it was from Matago, and it was saying, oh, and it's loads of surprises in what was going to be in the game. And I'm thinking, I understand this is your first Kickstarter. Matago's been around for a while, but it's the first time they've Kickstarted a game. I thought, oh, one thing you don't tell people is, there's a lot of surprises, because people are like, I want to know what I'm getting for my money here. But this could be very cool. A lot of people are jumping on this. Like I said, $500,000. It may have passed $500,000 today, because I put this news piece together about noon-ish or so. So there you have it. And I see that Dan from No Enemies here is harassing everybody in the chat, talking about Steely Dan. There are names you don't mess with, like Steely Dan or King Crimson. You just buy them because you know it'll be classic. Steely Dan? Really? Steely Dan. Now, I guess maybe the only reason why is it's Dan's name. Maybe that's why, but only way I'd be listening to Steely Dan is if I had insomnia. All right. So it is Thursday. So what does Thursday usually mean for those of us who enjoy PC games? That's right. We get a free PC game from the Epic Games Store. And this week's is a doozy. I've got the dope on Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. Collection does include the award-winning first-person shooter / role-playing game hybrids Borderlands 2 and Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And here's the dope about, first off, Borderlands 2. The time is now to take out Handsome Jack. Gather up your friends as you run rampant through the world, collecting bazillions of loot and guns in an effort to save Pandora from the evil grips of the Hyperion Corporation. A new era of shoot and loot is about to begin. Play as one of 4 new Vault Hunters facing off against a massive new world of creatures, psychos, and the evil mastermind, Handsome Jack. Then we've got Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Launch into the Borderlands universe and shoot and loot your way through a brand new adventure that rockets you onto Pandora's moon in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Bring mayhem to the moon. I actually am going to share with you the launch video. Of course, this package came out a while back, about a year ago, I think. But wait till you see all the stuff that's in this. So, and if you're not familiar with Borderlands, kick back, take a peek.
This is awesome!
And no, we did not go into a time warp. Like I said, that was the original launch video that I was sharing. So, Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, is absolutely free over at the Epic Game Store through June 4th. This is pretty wild. Boy, we are getting spoiled with these freebies from the Epic Game Store. 2 weeks ago, it was Grand Theft Auto 5. Then last week, Civilization 6. Now this big, massive Borderlands. Well, I guess really it's effectively Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. But look at all that extra content, all the DLC that's included with this as well. So very sweet, very cool. I will admit that I tried Borderlands, the original Borderlands, on PC and did not get very far. And I think it was mainly because the PC that I was using at the time that I was trying to play it on didn't have a whole lot of oomph to it. So I'm sitting there. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 lately, and it's not like, wow, now I've got something else with loads of content to mess around with. Very cool. So once again, this does run through June 4th. I think next week, there's a rumor floating around that next week's free game is actually going to be a Neo Geo port that is actually has not even been on sale yet. And it's just like an arcade samurai thing. And I'm like, eh. So hopefully that's not the case, because Epic has a really good streak running right now. And I'd like to see that continue. So Kabuki Kid says that they have this on PS3 and 4. I think Dan said that he's got this for PS3. Nice. Kabuki Kid says Bushido Blade. No, it's Samurai something. It's like I said, it's a Neo Geo, which I don't know what the big deal about that was. Well, I guess at the time the graphics were pretty good, but I don't know. I never thought there were really any exceptional games for the Neo Geo. I think they had a baseball game that was okay, if I remember correctly. All right, let's jump back into the tabletop gaming news, because Wizards of the Coast has released the latest stay-at-home, play-at-home PDF for Dungeons & Dragons that you can snag for free. Here's the dope on D&D Adventurers League, Bad Business, and Parnast. Bad Fool and his minions have been threatening to overtake the town of Parnast for some time, and intelligence provided by Seer via hissing confirms that an attack is imminent. Despite this, the town is at risk from within as internal politics threaten to tear it apart. It's up to the adventurers to resolve the infighting in Parnast and prepare the town for the Hill Giants' onslaught. This 32-page PDF includes a 2-hour adventure for 1st through 4th level characters. It is free right now at Dungeon Masters Guild through June 3rd. Boy, this Adventurers League sure had a lot of adventures with Bad Fool. It's like, I think this is like the 5th release that it's all about, he's going to attack this town. He's going to attack this town, trying to go have a diplomatic mission to talk to him. And then you try to get an Etten on your side. And it's like, then you went to the tower in the swamp. There were 2 adventures about that. Boy, come on. He's a hill giant, folks. He's not a storm giant, right? Come on. Hill giants are pretty easy to knock off. So Kabuki Kid points out Neo Geo was amazing for the time. Yeah, for the time. I don't know. I was never a big I did play arcade games when I was in high school and that. I just was never a huge arcade gamer. So anyway, so Metal Slug, Shock Troopers, yeah, those don't ring any bell. Sorry. Okay, moving right along, my final news piece. Now available for Flatland Games' Beyond the Wall and Other Adventures role-playing game is Dangers Near and Far. Here's the dope. It's a compilation of scenario packs and tools for game masters in games of Beyond the Wall and other adventures. The world is perilous and vast. Wicked goblins and capricious fae threaten the village. Your neighbors have troubles of their own and need your help, whether they know it yet or not. Sometimes the very dead rise as ghosts or shambling corpses, seeking to break down the veil between life and death. Heroes of your quality are rare and needed. Meet new heroes, young and old. Dangers Near and Far compiles all of the free material from 4 add-ons for Beyond the Wall and other adventures, and gives more besides. This volume provides a group of new scenario packs, threat packs, and character playbooks, as well as new rules and a host of adversaries for the heroes to face. It includes collected material from Hearths and Homes, The Wicked Dark, Across the Veil, and From Distant Lands, including scenario packs like the Open Barrow and the Troubled Village, and character playbooks like the Goblin's Child and the Student of the Dark Arts. There are 2 completely new character playbooks, the Barbarian Namer. Okay, I'm not sure what a namer does. Gives people names. I shall name you Couch. I shall name you Box. And the Lord's Secret. And 3 completely new scenario packs. The Lordling's Lament, the Delivery Quest, and the Witch's Mistake. There are new spells, magic items, and bestiary entries, and rules for goblins, mass combat, traveling to the underworld, and more. Also includes guidelines for making your own scenario packs. This 171-page PDF is available as a pay what you want at DriveThruRPG. Nice. I've heard good things about Beyond the Wall. I have never taken a look at it. I guess I should say Beyond the Wall and Other Adventures, because I guess that's the complete title to the game. But I was taking a peek at this, and for a free PDF, it is very, very nicely put together. Now, granted, it does mention that it's collected a lot of material from some other various different free supplements for Beyond the Wall and Other Adventures. But still, 171-page PDF as a pay what you want. That's pretty sweet. Pretty good deal. I think it looked like most people were paying about $5, $6 for it. So very cool. All right. So that is it for tonight's news. The power to name is the power to control, says William McGinnis. All right. So as I mentioned, we were just talking about picking up that pretty cool Dangers Near and Far. So anyway, I know I won't do that. I won't do the Paisan because I want to see Dan kind of go. Oh! But it's over on DriveThruRPG, and of course, if you watch The Daily Dope or visit the Gaming Gang, by that matter, you already know that we are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites, such as DriveThruRPG and Dungeon Masters Guild. So if you're going to head out to any of the Wooden Bookshelf sites, by all means, please swing by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase, I get a little piece of the pie. So, very cool. Very cool. Very good. So, don't forget, if you live in the U.S. or if you live outside the U.S. and you're willing to pay for shipping, I'm giving away this copy of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary 2. And nobody knows about it except for people watching the show. I am going to announce the contest on Twitter tomorrow, but it's pretty easy. All you got to do, be a subscriber to the channel, go and check out the review, and leave a comment. And you're in the running. Simple enough. Easy peasy. So, I'm not even going to say you have to leave a nice comment, because I always say that, but if you leave a nasty comment, I'm not going to put you in the running. So that's just how it's going to go. I mean, could you imagine somebody like getting into a contest like where you have to comment on something and they're like a jackass? Do you think anybody's going to be like, oh yeah, you're in the running? No. Absolutely not. So I had a package arrive today. I was like, wow, you know what? I think people are interested in seeing what's in this. So I'm going to shoot my unboxing video. I shot it about an hour after it arrived in the mail. So Kabuki Kid says, cool book, but maybe I shouldn't enter. I'll leave it for the Pathfinder fans. I don't know. It's not like there's going to be all that many entries. Trust me. It's like I could be giving away money and people would be like, nah, I'm ignoring that contest. So, anyway, so the Tales from the Loop starter set showed up in the mail today. So I cracked it open and already did my unboxing. That'll be up tonight. So I will have that. It'll probably pop up right about when this video finishes formatting or rendering, what have you, on YouTube. Also, I mentioned something is in transit. So I know that the first chapter of the Enemy Within campaign from Cubicle 7 Entertainment is arriving tomorrow, as well as the companion book. So that first book is Enemy in Shadows. So the PDF's been out for a while, but the physical books, because of the pandemic, really, backed up as far as that. So those are finally coming out, and I've got it on the way. So I will do my best to actually share a video. I think I'm going to just have them both in one video. I'm going to keep them both in together. So expect to see that. Also, I think tomorrow I will unleash my Traveler starter sets review. So keep your eyes peeled as I share my thoughts on that. Monsters of the Underworld. That review is on the horizon too. It'll be out by this weekend. It's done. It's just kind of, I don't like to throw a bunch of videos out there at one point because for some strange reason I find here's the weird thing, and I'll wrap up the show in a few minutes. So everybody says the less content you put out, the better. And I don't really get that. People say that if you are, like, for an example, if you upload videos to YouTube every day, then you will get fewer viewers than if you were just uploading a video every week. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. Kind of weird to me. So, looks like people are kind of curious about Tales from the Loop as well as Traveler. So very cool. Very nice. Very nice. And of course, I'll be looking to try to get my Call of Cthulhu videos out there as well this weekend, or at least have them ready for, early next week. So Flaming Heron has popped into chat just as I am about to wrap up. So once again, still playing around with the audio. So hopefully the audio was okay. Hopefully we didn't have any of the clipping. I did notice last night's video did seem to have, once again, it seems like, the microphone is too hot. This is the term that they tend to use for that, is that there's just too much power going through it. But the thing is, if I power off the 48 volts, it doesn't work. So it's like, okay. So Kabuki Kid says, yes, they've heard that logic before too. So I guess around with the belief that people can't keep up and watch it all, that somehow they're going to be less interested somehow. Yeah, I don't know how true that is either. So I don't know. I don't know. So Dan says the audio was great and video's good. Well, I know the video should be fine. Should be really good. I mean, it's the Panasonic, and I put a different lens on. So this is not just the lens that comes with the camera, which they call a kit lens, which usually isn't the greatest quality. They're good, but I mean, they're not like really good. This one should be very good. This is a prime lens. So it's a, well, it's 25 millimeter, but it's a 3/4, it's a 3/4 size sensor. So it's really effectively like a 50 millimeter lens. So I like it. I like it quite a lot. Other thing, if talking a little bit about video and stuff like that, I lit it up a little more. If you're not familiar with cameras and that, sorry, I'm trying not to go like too inside baseball because trust me, it's not like I know all that much about him either. I'm one of these, I know enough about it to be dangerous. It's kind of, right? You know what I mean? That's one of my father's favorite sayings, that you're basically, enough about something to be dangerous. Where it's like, if you don't know anything about something, you're like, well, I'm not going to risk anything. But if you know a little bit, then you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can fly that plane. Not a problem. I played GTA 5. Come on. So anyway, but so I opened up the f-stop. So the aperture's open a little more. That's why you get a little more, if you ever notice, because I guess people like the brighter video. So I'm not this pasty pale. I'm not. I look a little bit more like like yesterday's video, where it's a little bit darker, but people seem to, I've gotten some emails from people saying, how come my lighting seems to change? And it's not the lighting changing, it's the f-stop that I'm kind of adjusting, because to me, this looks a little fake because I'm not this pale. I'm not this, brightly, but I don't know. But you also notice that the background behind me with the f-stop opened up so that there's more light coming through. You'll notice that there's actually more blur behind me. So kind of cool. I like the blur behind me. Somebody emailed me pointing out that what's wrong with me? Don't I know how to keep things in focus? Because I'm in focus, but everything behind me is out of focus. It's like, yeah, that's intentional. It's like, all righty. So Fleming Huron says audio seems like it's it's fine, but he's easily pleased. Jeez. Yeah, well, what can I tell you? So anyway, so I've still played around with the audio and that. So hopefully, it's not going to this. Because that's what happens if it's like too hot. It's not necessarily just clipping. It's just so Flaming Heron says, yeah, it's okay. I'm here to watch you, not the boxes behind you. That is actually another reason why you're supposed to kind of do this, is so that people aren't just sitting there going, oh, wow, that copy of Flight Leader back there from Avalon Hill looks a little beat up. So you can still kind of tell what's behind me. It's just, Hey, you'll get to see everything on episode 500. I mean, like behind me, not everything, but as I will give you all a tour of the Duct Tape Studios, and you're going to sit there and be like, wow, jeez. It's magic, right? It's magic. All right, so that is it for tonight's show. As I always like to point out, if you like the video, give it a quick thumbs up. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, ring that notification bell, because not only will it let you know when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube, I'll also tell you when I upload standalone videos like this one that you'll see later on tonight, or my review of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary 2. And all the goodies that are coming very shortly. So that's it for tonight's show. Hopefully everybody is going to have a great weekend ahead. So if you were watching live, I very much appreciate that. Always love the fact that some folks kind of hang out, keep me company so I don't feel like a complete doofus just talking into a camera. But if you aren't able to watch live and you watch after the fact, that's fantastic too, even if you're watching on Memorex. So everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday night / Friday morning. I will be back on Monday. We will ring in a brand new month together. So until I see you next, as I've been saying during the pandemic, be smart and stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.